All right, so let me see. We're gonna start with C300. So C300, I'm just going to be quick as well. Just look at the daily for buyers, H1 for trend, M15 for pattern. So C300 actually had a nice sell yesterday. Let's see what were they reacting to. My network really messed up yesterday. What I noticed is we were in a downtrend. That's the first thing yesterday. We had a selling bias. So price came back into this particular fair value gap here. That's where they reacted, meaning we could have caught this trade somewhere here towards the end of the day. Looking at it today, let's see the bias we have. We have been bearish for a couple of days. Are these the old time lows? Let's see. Okay, so we also have all-time lows. Price is currently setting all-time lows. So usually after liquidity is taken again, price usually retraces. So we took out liquidity here, which was yesterday. So now price might retrace a bit up before pushing down. So let's see if we can maintain a selling bias on H4. So on H4, the only thing we want to mark here is the supply zones or any points of interest. So I've got this level here, which was broken. I also have this level where the red line is, where price currently is. So I'm just going to mark it like this. Okay, for now, those are the two main points of interest which I have. So price can react around current market price, or they can push up a bit, take out this liquidity and react around this area. That's also a possible play. So here you see we've got this order block. Right here we've got this order block. So those are the two main points of interest. If we drop down to H1, on H1, what we need is price to come back below the 13 EMA right here for us to consider sales. We're trading below the 50. The trend is bearish. You can see we've got lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower low. So I'm anticipating price to create a lower high anyway on this area before we come back towards these lows or potentially create a new lower low. For now, I would say that's my view right there. So let's see how it plays out, but we just need to keep an eye on it because price can actually start pushing from here. So what we need is a reversal candle first. Once we get that reversal candle, we want to confirm it with a pattern on M15. So from whichever high they create, we need to locate an order block, or we need to locate an order block. So for now, this is the visible order block I have, meaning safe sells will be below this area here. That's where I'm looking to take my sales from. If price, let's say price decides to extend into the 200 EMA, maybe come into this level here for some reason, we have to locate an order block which they're going to leave here. So when they eventually break it, then we can start consider sales. And when they break this one, we can also scale it. So I'll say for now, that's my view. So I'm going to leave this back on H1 so that I can wait for reversal candles here. Then going to C5. C5 has just been, I don't know, something else. It looks like they want to move now. So let me just quickly check on my phone. See if we can actually get a trade in there. So on C5, let's have one position at current market price. Okay, sorry about that. All right, so we've got one sell position at current market price. Let's see, is my sound all right? Okay. We've got one sell position at current market price. We've got a nice baseline bounce here yesterday and today, which is sort of like a divergence setup. So hopefully they'll pay us today. But anyways, let's check the daily, see what we have. The daily has been pushing up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, right? Until yesterday. Today, yes, we are in a bullish flow, but we are potentially also anticipating a retracement on this impulsive move. We need a retracement here, and maybe price might continue pushing up. But for now, we are looking at that retracement. The current candle is bearish on the daily, so let's see if they're going to pay us. We only have one position. We really just want to trade with caution here because we cannot afford wasting more capital on this asset. So H4 price is going sideways. Nothing much there. H1, we are now below the 13 EMA. That's the reason why I'm also selling. This candle will be closing in about 18 minutes from now. So it looks like we can potentially close below the 13 EMA. So we're going to maintain that sell bias right there. Where are they going to sell to? They can potentially sell to this level here. All right, so when you drop to M15 now, do we have a pattern? Pattern is there from that highest high. First structure to be broken was this one here. So if we're here a bit earlier, we could have taken that sell from the top, but we're still good here. We might get a retracement. We do also have like an order block. Let's see here. Okay, that's where we can pull back to. So sell limit on 49.55, which is 10 pips away from the current open position. Let's see, let's do this. Okay, I'm just going to quickly open the position on my phone. Then we have that sell limit. All right. Okay, sell limit at 49.55. If you've got moving averages, you also notice that that's around the 200 EMA. It will be a retest of the 200 EMA as well, and an order block on the 5-minute time frame. Let me just go there and show you guys. Okay, if you notice, the order block I'm talking about on M5 is this one. Remember, after you locate a higher high or the highest high, which is here, you want to look and locate an order block, which is right here. That order block, that's where our sell limit area is. So we can potentially get this price retracing, taking our liquidity here, and then melting down. How many pips are we expecting from this trade? If it really does play out, anticipating about 34 pips back to yesterday's low or to that 800 EMA there, which is also near that zone which we put. So if we can get about 30 to maybe 50 pips, that will be a success. Then after that, we're going to check if okay, my network is bad. We're going to check if price will actually be reversing for us to get more sells. But for now, the sell is short term. Sell limit 49.55. Stop loss has to be 10 pips above 49.55. So that will be 49.65 as your stop loss, or maybe 49.70, or however your trading system shows. You can just trade that way. But for me, this would be my stop loss. So for the current position which we have, the stop loss is about 20 pips. Then for the sell limit, the stop loss will be about 10 pips. Then the reward is to be at least 30 to 50 pips, which will make the setup a success if it does play out. So we're just going to keep stoking on it. Also, if they show a reaction, let's say they pull back and they reject and start pushing down, we can also scale in. So that we can just maximize that move from this particular setup. Okay, so that's it for C500. C1000 looks like it's now sort of reversing. H1 is trading above the yellow baseline, which makes me feel like this could be a retracement. Remember, we've set all-time lows. Last time when we had a Zoom, we were here. Price ended up dropping actually. Then they dropped again. So these are the all-time lows. If we break here, then price will now be in a reversal motion. Let's see if we can confirm it on the daily. Usually, if you understand price action, the H1 will give you all the information you need as long as you understand price. So you can see that daily candle there from yesterday looks like it's a reversal candle, but we just need today's candle to close first so that we can confirm that this is an actual reversal. So initially it's a retracement. Then if they continue breaking levels here, it will become a reversal and price will most likely continue pushing up to those levels. But for today, I do not have any sell on C5. Then going to B5, we had a nice setup yesterday, but I couldn't take it as well. My network was so bad. And knowing B5, you can see that the pattern actually started here when we broke this structure. So the buy was there. But if you notice, this pullback was a bit deep. They came and took out all this liquidity here. If you had stop losses here, this move took it out. Then from there was another setup. This was a very short-term buy, about 25, 30 pips, well, which was not bad because from this low, this was the order block. So we could have bought right there as well for a short-term trade. But there hasn't been much volume on B5. So let's see, what do we have today? Jump to the daily. Okay, based on the daily, we could actually have a bullish day. The reason I'm saying so is if you notice here, we've got this nice rejection of the 13 EMA on the daily, and we've got this follow through candle, which was yesterday's daily candle. So soon as today's current daily candle turns bullish, or soon as we break the open price, then I'll be looking forward for buys. Most likely I'll be looking forward for buys. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mark this level. Apart from that, I do not have any buy setup. So what I want to see now is knowing B5, they can still come take out these lows, even extend this low. Then from here, we're going to locate the order block, which might be actually this one. So the safest buys will be above here, and TP can be yesterday's high. This is based on the price action which we have on the daily. So I'm going to leave B5 on the M15 time frame. Then I'll just be paying attention to that level which I've put. If they continue pushing down, then I won't have anything solid to work with. If a pattern does form maybe around yesterday's low, I might consider taking it, but it will be a short-term buy as well, as we will be strongly trading below the 50 EMA here. So, like I said, I can only buy when we're above here. So for now, that's my only view. If we come down, then I'll advise you guys as the day progresses. B1000, I hope you guys caught it yesterday. There's a certain guy in the group who sends comments I didn't like yesterday. Because the thing is, the reason we do analysis is so that you don't get confused with the signals we share in the group. So if you watch these sessions, it becomes easier for you to know. Because in the group, I might just come and say, I'm buying B1000 now. I'm not buying it from the blue. We would have analyzed it and we'll be buying it based on the setup which we would have all analyzed, and those videos are always on YouTube. So that guy said, hey, you mentioned something like you guys, because we had a buy limit. I remember we had a buy limit here, if I'm not mistaken. And he mentioned something on the line like you guys only come when the price is in profit. Why do you say we only come when the price is in profit when we've discussed the setup? So that's statement they just good to me. I was like, this guy is just crazy. And if you find out it's the guy who misses the Zoom, he doesn't even attend the Zoom sessions. Yet he brings so much negativity into the group. So, anyways, looking at it today, what do we have here? We've been strong bullish for a couple of days. So I'm also open to seeing a retracement happen here. But for me to buy prices to actually, or the current candlestick is to also turn bullish. So for now, you can see that daily candle there, it's bearish, right? Which means price can still retrace. Then maybe the buys might continue. That could play out. Or price can still continue pushing up from where we are because we've been bullish. But for us to buy first, the daily candle has to turn green or has to turn bullish. On the 4-hour, what zone do we have? I only have this point of interest right there. If we drop down to H1, okay, H1, I can see I've got a point of interest. You see this order block, which price left here, right near the 50 EMA. This could also be like an ID50 type of setup whereby price we get a 1350 cross, then we get price come retest the 50 EMA, which is in line with the order block. Then if we can get some form of TDI confirmation here, we can consider a buy. At the same time, price can move from where it is. So for us to actually buy and not miss the trade, we have to use this particular order block here on the H1. So if price comes and breaks 15,627, I can consider buys. As soon as we break this level here, that's an order block on the H1. 15,267. If we can break, 15,627. If we can break this level here, I can consider buys in line with the daily bias which we have. That means I'll be looking for a reaction here. But if we don't get a reaction here, I'll wait for price on this order block here and still see if I can be able to get it buy. But again, always remember, the best buys are when your price is trading about the 13 EMA on the H1. We always mention that on a daily. So that's my view on B1000. I'm going to leave it on H1 as well so that I can just pay attention to price here. Then going to step index. Let's see what's been going on here. I remember we only caught a trade the day before yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so on the daily, we are trading again within the 50 and the 13 EMA. That means price can be sideways or choppy within this area. We are only going to get our best setups when we break probably this level to the top side. Potentially we can get some buys and price will most likely be heading to back to the 200 EMA at the top there. So safe buys will be when price is back about the 13 EMA. We also had this zone marked out. Price came closed, but we didn't have a follow through again. But again, this zone is still open for price to actually come back. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, that zone is also open for price to still come back and bounce, maybe push up. But in this area here, there's no setup because price is trading tightly within dynamic support and resistance zones. So on step index, I do not have anything today. Then going to jump 10. Let's see the daily. We've also been quite bullish for the longest of times. If you take a look at these last two daily candles, price sort of slowed down and they showed that they wanted to retrace. I remember when we had a Zoom, I had marked, we ran a fib and we said, okay, we are open to seeing sales or to getting sales and we can take profit when the price hits the 38.2, of which that happened. But here the sell setup was a bit ugly. So I'm not sure if anybody managed to catch it. So I'm now anticipating a possible continuation of that buying bias. Let's see, help with the video. Okay, the video will be shared just now on YouTube soon as I'm done. Thank you for joining though. Thank you for making time. I'll just give you a rundown of what we spoke about before I complete this session. So going back to JTEL, I'm still bullish here. Still very bullish. You can see that's the target there at the top. So if we can get a buy setup or a buy pattern, I can consider buys. If price decides to come down for some reason, they might be coming back to this particular level here, which we have. So I'll just wait. Right now, there's nothing too clean here, although I'm leaning on buys. This price action for me is not yet bullish, but let's see what we have on M15. All right, so on M15, what I want to see is for me to buy prices to break the current high of today. Then I'm going to jump in those buys. Then I'm going to try and hold. But at the moment, you can see we are literally pushing sideways. We are also trading between dynamic support and resistance zone. So this 200 EMA is a dynamic support. 13 EMA is a dynamic resistance, 50 EMA is a dynamic support, of which price is playing on either side. So anything inside here won't be such a solid trade until we come above here. That's when it will be safer to buy. So if you're trading J10, just look forward to take buys above today's highs. Then if price decides to start pushing down for some reason, we'll most likely wait for it here, or most likely wait for it around yesterday's low. Then from those areas, we can look for a pattern. So that's my view on jump 10. Step index, I said I've got no setup today. B1000, we are anticipating buys, but the safer buys are above this order block or on this order block below. Those are my 2 points of interest on B1000. B5, I would consider buys above that gray zone you see, which is today's highs. That's where I would consider taking buys. For now, price might just push down, which means I won't have any entry. C1 also looks like it's retracing on the daily, so we won't have any sells. Then C5, we've got one position at current market price. We opened it somewhere here when the Zoom started, and we've got a sell limit on 49.55. We've got a stop loss on 49.65, or otherwise manage the trade accordingly. That one position, if price decides to drop here, we can just hold that one and see where it can take us. Then C300, we are waiting for price to create a potential lower high, as this trend has been pushing down lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. We're just anticipating a lower high at some point. So we're leaving it on H1 so that we can get a reversal candle. Then we can consider sells. But for now, we do not have any setup. So that's it for me today. The only setup we have is C5 at the moment, which is running. And we are open to getting that retracement before price actually continues melting. But again, I want you to trade this with caution, because we've had a few losses on it from yesterday, the day before yesterday. Even last week, I think we had a lot of losses here because mainly we were trading against the trend, trying to catch the intraday reversals. So the sells have been very short term. There's a day when we actually had a nice sell. That trade ended up becoming a loss. Which day was it? Was it the day before yesterday, if I'm not mistaken? Yeah, I think it was here. You see, we had a pattern here, traded nicely. We scaled in. Price got here. For some reason, we wanted it to get here at least before the price continued. So we ended up holding, looking for another bounce here. Then price decided to just humble us, and it took us out with a loss. So those are some of the things which happen. Sometimes you can be in a trade running in profits, but always remember, if you're trading against the main trend, or if you're trading the intraday reversals, just go for 20 pips. Do not even hold for 30 pips, because price will most likely humble you. We've seen this happen multiple times. So if you're trading against the trend, 20 pips is your target. If you're trading with the trend, then you can go for 30, 40, 50, maybe 100 pips, depending on the asset you'll be trading. So that's it for me today, guys. If you've got questions, now would be the time. Or you can always ask the questions in the Telegram group, and I'll always respond. You should just bear with me these days. My network is a bit bad and slow at the same time. So sometimes we might not have sessions. Sometimes they might be delayed. Or my responses might be a bit slow, but I'll definitely get back to you guys. So thank you so much for joining. This is the last session of the week. The weekend, we won't have any sessions, but I'll be free on the weekend for those who want to ask any questions, those who want help. My DM is always free. Whatever you trade, you can just hit me up. Then we can have a Zoom and we can have a quick discussion, or I can assist you wherever I can. I think apart from that, we'll catch up next week. But during the weekend, I'll be dropping signals though on synthetics. So if I do have a setup, I'll still be sharing the setup and the signals. So thank you so much, guys, for joining. I hope you guys had a productive week, and hopefully everybody's going to have a safe weekend as we prepare for the new week ahead. Thank you so much, guys, for joining. Good trading.